Hey guys, I want to talk about AMC. Ask me about my favorite stock. AMC today would be my favorite stock. Let me pull this a little closer. You remember when Bernie Sanders was running for president? And everyone on the left was going, and the moderate people on the left were going, we don't need a revolution. We don't need a revolution. We just want a return to normal, quiet, boring, some moderate policies. And there was a lot of people on the far left who were going, no, what we do need is a revolution against the millionaires and the billionaires who are screwing people over and taking advantage. And they go, no. Well, we didn't get Bernie, but we are in the midst of a revolution. My video from yesterday, some people said I came off as a little salty. I didn't mean to be. My intention with the video from yesterday was just to caution people. You see a lot of people on Wall Street Bets and on the internet in general just saying, don't sell, hold, don't take your profits, let this thing ride, it's going up to the moon. Maybe, but at the end of the day, this is your money, and it is your financial situation that we're talking about, not theirs, and nobody frankly knows. And that was the whole point of the video from yesterday. Nobody knows. You don't know where it's going, neither do I. And there are going to be people on Wall Street Bets and on Stock Twits and on TikTok who are going, oh, this one's going here and that one's going there, and I'm not selling until it gets to wherever. It might very well get there, but it also might not. And so the whole point of the video from yesterday was to caution people and say, hey, if you have profit, if you are behind on rent, if you are drowning in debt, if you've got student loans, this is what that money is for. If you have gotten into GameStop, if you bought into AMC, if you are in some of these other stocks that are being pumped up on Wall Street Bets and heavily shorted by the billionaire hedge funds, at the end of the day, it's your money, right? It's not anyone else's. And people online can tell you, hold, don't sell, it's going here. At the end of the day, they are strangers and you don't know them. And, who are they? Maybe they're geniuses, maybe they're incredibly bright, and maybe they have a logical reason why that stock will get to that price. But what if it doesn't? And if you are behind on your bills or your rent or you're going to be foreclosed on, there's absolutely no shame in selling. Look, I am the first to tell you that I notoriously sell too early. I do. That's my biggest problem. I've been trading stocks for 10 years. So if you're new to my page, my name is Ken Asuna. I've been trading stocks for 10 years. I'm self-taught, didn't go to college, wanted to be a pro wrestler. And I taught myself everything I know about stocks, and now I have TikTok. I teach people how to trade, how to invest, and I'm also really into minimalism, so that's why the name is Trade, Invest, Simplify. I'm completely self-taught, and notoriously I will take profits a little too soon. And people have asked me along the way, what would you have done if you had bought GameStop? And I could come out here and I could lie to you and say, oh, I would have bought 1 million shares at 37 and I wouldn't have sold till it hit 244 or 350 or whatever. But nobody knew where it was going to go. And at the end of the day, it's my money, and my primary objective as a trader is to lock in some gains. Some gains, not all. So people have been asking, what do I do? There's no right answer, because look, normally when I would be looking at something like this, I would say, okay, we're going to look at the technical analysis, and I'm going to look at the 3-month chart and the 1-month chart, and I'm going to get a gauge of where the stock has been, where it's going. And I'm going to make a decision based on most recent volatility. I think this stock could get to here. If it breaks out, it could go there. If it breaks out from that, it could go there. Throw that out the window. Technical analysis right now doesn't mean shit. The next thing I would say is you look at the fundamentals, the earnings of the company compared to other companies in that sector. And you would say, well, this company, which is in the similar sector, did X, Y, and Z, and the stock went up 30%. And this one did X, Y, and Z, and the stock went up 27%. And this one, okay, I'm getting the trend here. I'm seeing that stocks in the sector move around 25 to 30%. That will give me an idea of where I think this one could possibly go if their earnings or their news or whatever is similar. And if it's not similar, then that one will tank. Throw that out the window. Technical analysis doesn't mean shit. Fundamental analysis right now doesn't mean shit. So it makes it a lot harder to say when you should take your profits. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting a ton of text messages. I don't know where the stock is going to go, and neither do you. So the best advice that I have to you is the knocking on the door analogy, right? And you know what? Let's just use my personal experience with AMC because I own a lot of it. And by the way, my reason for being in AMC wasn't because of Wall Street bets. I've actually been trading AMC for the last couple of months on COVID-related news. So let me just explain why I was trading AMC. Look, my thought process is this is AMC. They're a humongous chain of movie theaters. They employ tens of thousands probably of people. They have locations all over the country and globally as well. I'm really sorry. I don't know what's going on. Ever since GameStop, my phone has been just lighting up. I've been hearing from friends that I went to high school with and I haven't talked to since high school. People are going like, hey, you trade stocks, right? What do I know about GameStop? So anyway, now I've lost my train of thought. Why I was trading AMC. It's a humongous chain. COVID has definitely impacted it. They could go bankrupt, of course. That is a distinct possibility. So I protect myself. If it goes below a certain price or my loss is greater than 7 or 10%, I will exit and I'll jump out. But as a trader, as a swing and day trader, I do a little of both. What I look for in AMC is really bad news to buy, right? Oh, COVID, there's a second strain. The stock drops, and I'll start scaling in on my position. And then they'll say, oh, there's a vaccine. And Joe Biden will come out and say, my goal is to get the businesses back open. And then AMC will rise, and I'll sell, and I'll lock in my profits because I know in a day or two there's going to be more, oh, the vaccine is showing problems. Boom, there goes the stock. Oh, we might be delaying openings. Boom, there goes the stock. Oh, cruise lines and travel and casinos, they're getting hit really hard. Uh-oh, that means theaters could too. Boom, there goes the stock. That's when I start buying. Then they come out a week later and they go, no, there's a new vaccine and it's going to be from Johnson & Johnson and it's a one-dose vaccine. And then the stock goes back up again. So I've been trading it like that for the last couple of months. However, that switched when they started getting some really big loans, bailouts or whatever. AMC needed $500 million. They said, we need $500 million to stay operational through the remainder of, I can't remember how long. When they started getting some loans, I switched from day and swing trading to investing, buy and hold. And I bought a bunch of AMC and I said, I'm just going to hold it. And when it went a little lower, I scaled in and I bought even more. And I was just holding it. I was just really like legit. I was just holding AMC. I didn't know that this was going to happen. If you have followed me in the past, you know that I also had a similar scenario where I was just trading Kodak, literally just trading it because the charts looked good. The fundamentals were trash. The company sucked, but their chart was good, and it would bounce between $2 and $2.30 every couple of days or week or so. So I would just consistently trade it. I had no idea that Trump was going to say, hey, camera company, make a COVID vaccine, and then the stock was going to go, nobody knew. I just happened to get really lucky. And again, happened to get really lucky with AMC. I was in it prior to the GameStop thing. And then when I was, my friends were blowing up my phone, like every time I turn my head, I'm reading a text because my phone is tilted. When GameStop started going nuts, I went on Wall Street Bet. Now I've been on Wall Street Bets ages ago, and I thought it was kind of stupid, and I thought it was very risky and a little bit, making me nervous. I was seeing these people who knew nothing about anything, and they were going, yeah, I just put my life savings into this. Oh, I lost 50 grand. And I would just sit there like, oh my God, Wall Street Bets has changed dramatically in a very short period of time. It has gone from just a bunch of, reckless trades to a revolution on Wall Street. And I read a comment on StockTwits or something the other day that said, this is the real Occupy Wall Street. And I got like goosebumps. As a humongous Bernie Sanders supporter, I don't know what Bernie would say, by the way. They always say, like, what would Jesus do? Jesus, I want to know what would Bernie say about all of this, because this is classic, like the little guy fighting back. Is it manipulation? Yeah, probably. But it's no different than what Wall Street has been doing for years and fucking. In fact, actually, it reminds me of a joke, and then I'll get back into AMC. There's an analyst who works at a brokerage. He just got hired. And the junior broker says, hey, analyst, let me take you out for lunch. So the analyst and the junior broker are walking down by the marina. And the junior broker goes, hey, you see that yacht over there? And the analyst goes, yeah, it's a small yacht, but it's a nice one. And the junior broker goes, "That's mine." And the analyst is like, "Wow." And he looks down and he sees a even bigger yacht, and he goes, "Whose is that?" And the guy goes, "Oh, that's the stockbroker. That's one of our broker's yachts." And he goes, "Wow." And he looks down even further. He sees an even bigger yacht, and he goes, "Well, who's that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the CEO's yacht. It's like the biggest one in the marina." And the kid goes, "Wow, where are all your clients' yachts?" And the junior broker goes, "They can't afford yachts, because it's never about them. It's always about the rich getting richer, and here are some crumbs." And that's what's been happening. And if you play by their rules and you do what they say, and you go along with it for the ride, buy an ETF, oh yeah, buy a couple of shares in this company, and you'll be fine, crumbs. But when it becomes the little people fighting back and going, "Oh, we figured out a way to outsmart you," suddenly Wall Street's got a problem with it. They don't like it. It's a taste of your own medicine. How do you like it? How do you like being manipulated and screwed? They don't. The problem, my fear, is that they have the power to halt stocks. They have the power to suspend trading. They have the power to do some stuff if they wanted to. So my further caution is to be really cautious. And that goes back to, this is your money and your financial situation. And I get a lot of people saying to me, like, "When should I take profits? When is the right time? When is it going to top?" Nobody fucking knows. You don't know, I don't know, nobody knows. And there are people on Wall Street Bets who have their theories. 200, 300, 400, 1,000. Maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't. There's nothing that says, by the way, that you have to sell all of your position. There's nothing that says that, right? There's not a law. There's not a law that says you've got 10 shares, you got to sell all 10, buddy. You could sell half, you could sell 5, you could sell 3, you could sell 2. You could sell 8 and just YOLO the rest. So let me get into AMC. I have my shares in AMC, and Jesus. Sorry. I have my shares in AMC, and I'm also on TikTok. So I'm like, the videos that I put up today, I think I've picked up like 1,000 followers in the last couple of hours, and it's just, I'm sorry if you're following me on TikTok, because you're asking questions that are really, really good, and I cannot answer all of them as fast as I would like to. So I've got my position in AMC, and last night it started to go a little nuts into the close and after hours, and AMC went, I think it got up to $8.20 something cents right before after hours trading cut off at 8 o'clock. And I was, I get really excited about this stuff because this is what I do for a living. But I was getting a little nervous. And historically, when stocks have these massive run-ups after hours or pre-market, they open way down. So let's say the stock is up 50% pre-market or after hours. The following morning, it opens down, say, 20%. So still up 30, but down 20. That's historically how it goes, right? It swings way up. By the market open, it's way down. So historically, I would say, if you're way up after hours, the smart move would be to sell. However, following what GameStop had done, I thought, this is different. This isn't like the other historical, oh, it's way up, it's going to pull back when the market opens. I texted a friend last night, and I said, actually, I was texting a couple of people last night, and I said, here's what I think is going to happen. Either it was 8:24 when it closed. Either AMC is going to open at 6, or it's going to open at 11 to 15. And if you know me personally, I live in Washington, D.C. I hate waking up early. I hate it. And I have a lot of friends who say, like, you could work from anywhere, dude. You could live anywhere. Why don't you move to California, out west? Why don't you move here or there? The reason is I don't like waking up early. I hate it. I hate waking up early. I work from home. I have for the last 10 years. I've been working from home since before it was cool, man. I will wake up at like 9:20 every morning. I don't have kids. I don't have to get anyone off to the school bus or drive anyone anywhere. I don't have any dogs that need to be, petting me at 3 a.m. Hey, we gotta go pee. I don't have any of that. I roll out of bed at 9:20 usually every morning. I have my coffee. I drink iced coffee, so I make my iced coffee the night before and I chill it in the fridge. I literally stumble into the kitchen, pour my iced coffee, pour in my milk, go back and sit at my computer and get to work. I set 2 alarms last night. I was so excited. I set 2 alarms. I set one alarm at 4 in the morning when pre-market starts, and then I set another at 8:09. I don't know why 8:09. Probably just where my finger landed on the little swipey thing on the alarm. And I woke up at 4 a.m. and promptly grabbed my phone and I checked, and AMC was $11. And I was like, all right, this is positive, right? A lot can change from 4 to a lot can change from 4 to 9:30, but that's why I'm waking up again at 8 just to get a gauge. I wake up at 8 o'clock. Didn't even wait for my second alarm. I was up 8 o'clock. I was like, what's going on? And it was $15, and it had actually gotten up to like $16.90. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to calculate out certain price points where I think a stock could go, right? So I said, if this stock can go to 15, if it can go to 20, if it can go to 30, if it can go to 40, how much am I going to make or stand to make? So I knew right away when it was $15 what my profit was without even thinking about it, which is something I recommend you all do on any trade that you make. Have an idea of where you think the stock could go based on technical analysis normally, right? This Wall Street bet stuff doesn't matter. But normal trading, have an idea of where you think it could go. So when you see, oh, my price, it's at that price, you know what your profit is without going, let me calculate out and see what my, because that's time that's eaten into your trade. That stock could be dropping while you're calculating and thinking, should I sell here? You already have it figured out up here. You know where it is. So for me, I knew exactly what my profit was, and I thought I would be stupid to not take some profits, right? Everyone's so happy and they're like, to the moon, to the moon. These things can reverse in a second. You don't know. We don't know. And for the people who go, well, when should I sell? When's the right time? There is no right answer. The thing I would ask you is, are you happy with the profit that you have? Number one, are you happy with the profit that you have? And number two, if somebody knocked on your door and they had that profit, $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000, and they said, here, you can have this $30,000 right now, or I'll be back in a couple of hours. And it might be $45,000 or it might be $17,000. What would you do? And by the way, there's nothing that says, by the way, that you have to sell all of it. You don't. You could say, hey, my profit's 10, 20, 30 grand. Let me take half. Let me take a third. And that's exactly what I did. When it hit 15 pre-market this morning at 8 o'clock, I sold. It went up a little bit. I was watching the charts. I rolled out of bed. I ran to my computer at 8:20 or whatever. I was so excited. I wasn't even didn't even care that it was early. And by the way, early to me is 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever. It was moving up, but it was also dropping, right? It would go to 1580 and then it would drop to 15 and it would go up to 1580 and it would drop to 15. And I thought, I'm nitpicking over a couple of dollars here. This is stupid. If this thing does drop to 12 or whatever, I'm going to be kicking myself. And if it goes a little higher, it's a distinct possibility that it could, but nobody knows. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to ring out the register or whatever Jim Cramer says. I'm going to jump out here and I'm going to take a third. So I'm going to sell a little bit and I'm going to YOLO the rest. That's what I'm not a licensed broker, financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. But I recommend, personally, for me, because it's my money, it's my financial situation, I took what I wanted. I took what I thought was, if someone knocked on my door and said, here, I would be like, I wouldn't turn them away. I'd be like, yeah, give me. And I took a third. I didn't take all of it. And because I'm not hard up for cash and I'm not facing eviction or foreclosure, I'm not drowning in debt, I only took a third, and I'll roll with the remainder that I have and just see what happens. If it goes back down, it's not the end of the world for me. And if it keeps flying, great. I don't know where I will sell. That's the follow-up question. When will you sell? I think I'll probably start scaling out incrementally. I won't sell entire blocks or lots of shares. I'll sell, 100 shares or 500 shares at a time. Every time it moves up a little bit higher. It hits 40, I'll sell a little bit. Oh, it hits 80, I'll sell a little bit. Oh, it hits 100, I'm going to sell a lot. I'll probably always hold on to just a little bit, as I did with Kodak as well. I always kept 100 shares. I sold the majority. I sold everything that I had around, I think, $49 or $50 on Kodak, even though it went up a little higher. and I kept 100 shares, which I only recently just got rid of because I got tired of it. But I'll probably always hold a little bit just out of the sheer, like, you know, whatever, you know. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of, if you do take some of these profits, to please be smart with it. Look, you can YOLO a position of it. You can YOLO a percentage. If you got 10 shares, you want to sell half. You got 100 shares, you want to sell half, or 75%, whatever you want to do. With the money that you have made from this, if money is an issue, this isn't for people who are, you know, just like, who gives a shit, whatever, it goes up, it goes down, like David Portnoy or whoever. Yeah, he loses 100% of his investment, he's not going to be crying. This is for the people who are really hard up for cash, right? We are facing unprecedented times here. Foreclosures, I think they have gotten, now that Biden is, geez, man, I can't keep up with this. Now that Biden is elected, they will, you know, push off foreclosures and evictions, which is great. But still, people owe back rent. And this isn't going to be something that people just forget about. Landlords aren't going to go, you couldn't pay the last 5 months, who cares? They're going to want that money. And you might potentially have some of that. What would you do right now if you were YOLOing 100% of this, even though you were hard up for money, and, you know, it dropped? Or these hedge funds or these banks are regulating now. And they're putting on, is it regulations? No, what's the word? Oh man, my friend was just texting me about it. They're putting restrictions. They're restricting trades. Ameritrade is restricting trades to protect investors. It's such bullshit. They are limiting what we can do, right? They hold the power. We think we hold a lot of power. They hold more. They can suspend trading. They can halt trading. They can restrict trading. They can do a lot of shit in the name of protecting investments, and they've got their teams of lawyers there. Wall Street Bets might come up with ways to outsmart them or whatever, but they can do stuff too. How would you feel right now if you picked up a Wall Street Bets at 100? Wall Street Bets. If you had picked up GameStop at 100 and it's 340 right now, and it just plummeted or got halted or suspended for 10 days, like some of the people at the SEC are saying they should do, maybe even 30 days, some people are saying, and you couldn't have access to that money, and when the halt or suspension got lifted, it crashed. What would you do? It might not happen, but what would you do if it did? If you've got back rent, if you've got health insurance bills, if you've got debts, credit card debts, 17% interest, student loans that are crippling you, and you've got a $20,000 profit, and that money would be significant. The caution that I have is, please be smart with this. If you are in a financially difficult situation, and you have happened to be in AMC, or you have happened to be in one of these stocks that has gone, you know, to the moon, and you do decide to take some profits, you know, leave some in, of course. Who knows where this thing is going? YOLO a portion of it. But please, don't go and buy a Lambo. Don't go and do something reckless if you are drowning in debt. There might not be another. There might be. There might be a lot. Or there might not be. Nobody really knows for sure. Geez, what? You know, you don't know. Nobody knows. And so it's just caution. I know people say, oh, you sound salty, bro. Like, what got into you? But it's really coming from a place of, like, please do something smart with this money. Pay off some debt. I know it's tempting to go like, dude, I just made 10 grand. Like, the guy at my gym was like, I made $4,000. Great. Do something with that money that it will help you. If you don't have debts, if you don't have student loans, if you aren't behind on rent, but you don't have, stock market's closed, if you don't have you know, back rent, or you're not facing eviction, take that money and put it in your emergency fund, right? We always recommend have 6 months of emergency rainy day fund, money set aside in case, you know, a coronavirus hits, or you know, people get online at food banks and they don't have money and there's a virus going around, or massive unemployment and you get laid off. Just put that money to the side. Have your 6 months in a bank account. I know, inflation and all that stuff, but it's there to protect you, not to build you wealth. and it's there to help you in the long run if the markets plummet or you get fired or whatever. And for the rest, student loans. You got 17% interest, pay that shit off. Fuck these banks charging you 17%. Fuck them. If you get a lot of money, pay it all off right now and walk away. They're trash for charging 17%. That shit should be fucking illegal. And same for car payments. If you've got overpriced car payments, pay that shit off. If you've got debts or student loans or medical bills, pay that shit off. Pay it off. Do something smart with this money. Don't consider this like play money where you can go buy PlayStation, a bunch of new shoes and whatever. Maybe buy something nice for yourself. Of course, like do something. Take a couple days off or go to the beach. But don't piss it all away. Is my only caution. Do something significant with this, because this is a gift from Wall Street Bets. So fight the power, and be safe. And it's your money. Remember that it's your money. And I know it's tempting because these people say, but they're strangers and you don't know them. And this is your financial situation, and there's no shame at all in taking profits along the way, as I have done and will continue to do. And then keep a small amount, because who fucking knows? So thanks for watching. Ask me about my favorite stock. It's AMC today. Thanks for watching. See ya.